Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Blagan. I'm a teacher here at Mifflin High School, and today we're going to be learning about Desmos, which is an online graphing calculator. We're going to learn first what Desmos is and what it can do. Next, we're going to be talking about how you can access Desmos, either through a link that your teacher shares with you or through posts on Google Classroom. Next, we'll be talking about how to complete Desmos assignments in a slide deck as it's presented to you. And finally, how to use Desmos as a tool for both the OST as well as other assignments you may have. Let's get to it. So we're here inside the actual Desmos graphing calculator. You can see that I've opened up the Ohio State test version of Desmos. This is because I'd like to be familiar with how it'll operate when I actually use this on the state test. So Desmos is a graphing calculator, and of course we can graph things such as lines. So let's use just y equals 3x plus 2. Of course, that is a line that goes through the y-intercept of 2 with a slope of rise 3, run 1. Now what's nice is I can also plot points here. So if I want to confirm that the point 1, 5 is on my graph, it'll show me that the point 1, 5 is indeed on my graph, and it'll show me where that falls on my graph. Now, the other nice thing about Desmos is you can do simple calculations. I'm just going to use the y-axis since I need to know a variable as the output. So I'm going to put y equals 2 plus 5. We'll see that y is equal to 7. So I can do all kinds of operations here. Y equals 3 to the 4th power. And of course, that'll be 81. So that is the overview of how Desmos operates. Now Desmos, of course, has a variety of tools, so it doesn't just give us a graphing calculator to work with. Let's see what else we can do with Desmos. Now here I'm inside of a hypothetical Google Classroom. Now, of course, I'm the only student in this classroom, but I've got some assignments posted. Your teachers will likely be posting assignments in your Google Classroom, so sometimes we'll be posting or emailing or sharing with you with the link otherwise Desmos assignments. So we need to know how to get into Desmos from a stream or link. So I'm going to go ahead and click this post in my Google Classroom, and you can see these are also accessible on the left side and that they're due soon. But you can click them in the stream or in your assignments. I'm going to click the first Desmos assignment, land the plane. Now you'll notice this has instructions. Those will differ by each teacher that posts it, but I have here a embedded link. So I can click this link and it'll take me to Desmos. Now it'll ask me to sign in with Google or to sign in with Desmos. Since everyone should be operating on a school Chromebook or another laptop or desktop that has your Google account in it, we're going to go ahead and sign in with Google. It should pop up your name and it'll ask you to type your name. If you don't autofill this name, please do at least include your first name and last initial so that your teachers know who to give the credit to. Now, once the activity loads, you'll notice that you have slides up here. You can see we're on slide 1 of 7, and our instructions said to complete all of the slides. So we need to make sure we get to 7 of 7. Now, we've also got the title, Land the Plane, and our name, making sure that we have our name here. We're going to have instructions below that. Move the plane so it lands safely. Press submit to check your answer. So I see my submit here, and I need to move the plane. You notice this plane has a little bit of a point in it, kind of highlights as I hover over it. So I'm going to move this plane somewhere where I think it'll land safely. Now notice I can only move it in vertical space here, so I can't move it close to my runway. That'd be too easy. So I'm going to approximate. Now I'm intentionally going to miss by just a little bit so we can adjust later. Once I've decided where I want my plane to start, I'm going to hit the submit button. So obviously Desmos is more than just a graphing calculator. It does allow teachers to create and share more interactive decks of slides. Speaking of, let's move on to the next slide. So here it goes into more of the mathematics in terms of we now have a coordinate plane and we could estimate we want to hit the runway right here at the point 7, 8, or more precisely, we want to make sure we have a slope of -1. So we could just trace back to our plane. Let's try it again. And so we were more successful this time using that graph. As we go through, you'll see more and more slides pop up. I'll have to submit equations sometimes. And if I don't know how to do that, I can click on these little information icons and get more information on how I can do different functions within Desmos. Now, you'll notice I didn't actually submit a response for that last slide, so I can always go back through the slide deck and fill out anything that I haven't, or to look back for tips on previous slides of how to solve problems I haven't yet solved. Now, once we've completed our entire slide deck, of course I haven't, but once we have completed our slide deck, we don't actually have to hit a submit, a save. All of this is continuously saved. So that's how we complete Desmos assignments. So the last thing we can do with Desmos is use it as a tool for the Ohio State test and other assignments. Now this is some ALEX practice. ALEX is an online platform you may be assigned, but this could be any Ohio State test question as well. And as long as we're using the version of Desmos that corresponds to our state test version, it should be the same as whatever we're going to be given. So if I come back over here and I'm looking at this question, I have no idea what this means. Now I can copy and paste with ALEX just like I can in any Windows program. So let me take this equation and put it over here in Desmos. So back in Desmos, I'm just going to Control V and paste that. Well, that's a curve. I'm looking for a solution, so I need this to be simplified. And it may seem at first like, well, Desmos isn't giving me the answer. But what it can do is it can check my work. So I know I need to solve this. And if I remember from Math 2, I need to FOIL these terms. So I'm going to be multiplying the first term by the first term. So x times x is x squared. Outer, multiply x by 5 and get 5x. Inner, 7 times x is 7x. And finally, my last terms, 7 and 5, make 35. Now, you'll notice that my new equation that I've written is the same as what I'd copied and pasted. So this seems correct, but before I submit that, I want to, of course, simplify it. Now, you can always add lines in Desmos, so you can work looking at the previous lines of work you've done, just like you're working on paper and pencil. We have x squared plus 5x and 7x. Now, these terms can be combined. These are like terms. It's 12x plus 35. And again, we have a curve that matches the original equation. So we know our solution is correct. We can now copy this and paste it right into whatever we're working on, be it ALEX or our state test. And that's how we can use Desmos to aid us with ALEX, other assignments we may have online, or our state test. It's important to be familiar with Desmos because it's going to be the calculator that is embedded on the state test for most states.
Thank you so much for your time and attention. Hopefully this has given you an idea of what Desmos is, how to access Desmos, how to complete assignments in Desmos that your teacher assigns as a slide deck, as well as how to use Desmos as a tool for the state test and other assignments. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye!